Well, good evening. It's Sunday night, and we're in for, I think now, a very interesting week as we go forward in the course with the week 3, and now here's where a lot of stuff is going to start happening. So before I get to that, let me just back up a bit, talk a little bit about what I saw go on in week 2, and thank you very much for the response to my announcement email in the middle of the week when I talked about the discussion board, and wow, volume went up like crazy, which is great. The discussion was very, very good. A lot of people addressed a lot of the points that were going on in the unit. References to outside materials, even a few references to the show Modern Marvels. Yeah, I watch Nerd TV too, so that's what happens. And it was very interesting. This whole unit on competitive advantage, Michael Porter's 5 forces model. Several of you noted the fact that Porter's model, Porter's work, Porter's identification of these forces been around for a long time now. And it was actually there for the longest time before that. He's just one of the first to actually put a name on it. And when we look at the way the forces that shape our strategy fit together, we begin to wonder whether it's our strategy that's shaping the environment or the environment that's shaping our strategy, or is it both? And I think people did a good job in talking about that. This week, what we're going to do is to move on, and you're going to see a continuation of the whole strategy idea, more specific business level strategies, and start identifying things and how people have, in interesting businesses, have put together strategies that keep them in a real competitive state, which is it's where you want to be. And in fact, I've entitled the discussion board for this week as being on the edge. Do you want to be on the edge? And should you be on the edge? And how do you get there? And how do you stay there? So maybe the way I phrase that tells you that I think you should be there. So we'll be doing that. You're going to be looking at things this week on consumer behavior, the way people, the consumer, the end users, are responding to the environment. Last couple of years have really changed the business environment, and I think you're going to see what's happened is had an effect not only on the businesses but the people that businesses serve. So that's important. You'll see the video from John Gertzema, I think, is really, really powerful. The one from Rory Sutherland, British humor, but boy, listen to the message underneath all those good British jokes, and we'll see what happens there, but I think you're going to find that one interesting. One of the other items I included, and I debated whether leaving it in or not because it's a little bit old news, but it's a permalink to a New York Times article about Toyota. And interestingly enough, Toyota, as we all know, had some major problems in the past few years. And what happened with Toyota? Well, Toyota had set a goal, a strategy of becoming number 1 in volume. They got there. And then a lot of things happened. Read the article. I think that'll make you think. Then, finally, what's going to happen this week, in amongst all this other stuff going on, this is why I say week 3 is such a big week, I'm going to introduce you to the infamous group project. And I know that 90% of you probably hate group projects. You're saying, oh, why do we have to do this? And I'm sitting here telling you this is the major portion of the course. Well, the group project is to address a real-world business problem. It is a problem that's I've laid out the discussion of it in written form and in a video so that you can see what's going on. I think I'm pretty clear about the assignment, but let me just say, listen to the video, read the description. It's about a merger. It's about a merger that grew out of some very interesting circumstances. And your job as simulating a senior executive team is going to be to make the merger work. And one thing I want to emphasize right up front, we're not going to be doing a report on what really happened. We're just going to be setting the stage for a chance for you folks to develop a strategy, to put into practice all the things that we've been learning about right up to this point in the course, things that we'll be learning about as we go forward in the course, but perhaps even more importantly, things that you've worked with throughout all the coursework you've done leading up to here. So it's a real challenging week. I appreciate all the effort everyone put in. When I went in this afternoon and looked at all the posts on the discussion board, I just, wow, this is great. As you can tell, I don't feel that I have to get in the middle of it. All I think I have to do every once in a while is ask a question and let people go, which is great. This week, because the expectations were there, the rubric was printed in the course information. I let you know what I wanted. This week I'm going to grade them. It's class participation, class discussion is very important, and it's very important to me. It's a very important part of this course. So last week everybody kind of got off because I made a mistake. I think I corrected my mistake. Now let me go back in and see how everybody did with it. Of course, if you have any questions, please approach me. I should be around on campus a lot more this week. Last week was a little disjointed, but I put a questions for the professor discussion board up. If you have any questions about the group project in particular that are not specific to your work but are specific, general about the project as a whole, ask them there, because a question that you have may be one that several other people have and also need to get answered. So without that being said, it's a very busy week. There's a lot of material, a lot of things to get used to and get going. Hope this video came out okay with the traffic on my entrance road behind us and the heat pump humming away out there. But it's been a very gratifying response that I got to my request in the middle of the week for a little bit more participation, and keeping that up is going to be very important. So as usual, ask me any questions and we'll go forward from here. Thanks very much.